being had.
Oh,
Oops.
well, oops.
Oh. Oh, jeez.
Hi, the baby. Hello. Hello. It's got my social security number on my desk.
Buddy.
Room tour.
That's a man. That's a human man.
That's a human man. Is that Adam Driver?
Exactly.
Jesus
Dude, his
Christ.
face is so human. Snapchat filters like pick up his face.
Oh no.
Like a human man.
Did you test
He's a
this?
human
Don't
man.
move.
We've tested this.
Okay.
He's a human man.
Well, then that just means that he like committed tax fraud and now he's trapped in a cat body.
Or it's like
I
a
feel like
Peter
he's-
Pettigrew situation.
I feel like it's one of those like dad got turned into a cat, and as soon as he did, the ghost was like, "You have to like learn from this mistakes from your." He was like, "Actually,
That was a
I'm good."
what movie
like-
was that? That was
It's
a
like
movie
Tim
in the
Allen
90s.
in the
They-
what's it called?
there's a
The
lot of
Scrappy
movies
Dog.
about that.
Scrappy Dog.
It's
They
that
remade
one.
it.
Dog. The Shaggy
Yeah.
Dog.
The Scrappy
Shaggy-
Dog.
Where he stands up in the dog suit and just punches that man in the face.
Bro, it's like that Air Bud movie where he launched a box.
Yeah, it's
I'm
like it's like
waiting
how
on the
it's like in
sequel.
the second Air Bud movie where you find out that the dog's actually his dad.
It's actually the dog's actually Tim Allen, but it's just Tim Allen IRL.
Yeah.
That's just who he
They
feels
did
like.
8 hours of makeup on him, just like the Grinch.
He
For
had to learn.
Air
He had to learn FBI torture training. It is
To
true.
withstand it?
To withstand being Tim Allen, to withstand his own life.
Yikes.
Bro, he's dealing with that withdrawal from all that cocaine he did in the 80s. You saw that mugshot?
I can't say I did.
Will, go ahead and pull up Tim Allen mugshot.
I'm not gonna do that.
All right, well, chat, pull up Tim Allen mugshot if you want to learn something.
It's true.
Is
I can't
this a
stop
recent
you.
mugshot?
No, it's from like 1982 or something.
Oh yeah, the one where he's got the full mustache and he looks like a
Yeah.
fucking sim.
Is it a real
Yeah.
mustache or is it just the cocaine?
No, it's a real mustache.
Because he was smuggling cocaine across the border.
Oh my god, his arm is like
Tim Allen.
Yeah.
Feet? No.
Ralph.
There's some hairy toe knuckles, I bet.
Yo, he looks good.
Or they're like tarantulas.
He's got a lot of hair, doesn't
He
he?
does look
Yo.
good. I aspire to
That
look like
mustache is fire.
Oh, I thought you meant his feet.
that. His tarantula toes. My aunt, when we were at the pool one day, and she like looked down and saw my brother's feet and was like, "Oh my god, what are you, tarantula toes?" And he was really offended by it.
I like how she asked, "Are you tarantula toes?" Like that's a real person that people know
Oh my
about.
god.
Yeah,
It's a cryptid.
like a cryptid. Yeah.
That's the shock. He didn't think it was very funny.
Long, thin, hairy. Super nice.
Spider toes. I have
Spider toes.
I have
monkey toes.
It's not as bad as it used to
You
be,
have
but I
spider
had
toe?
really bad arachnophobia. And the first person that I dated in college, I went like home with her over winter break, and the only
Yeah,
place
you
where I
did.
could stay, there was a tarantula tank in the room.
Wow,
that was fun.
spooky.
Oh no.
I had a
Mhm.
friend in, I think it was junior year of college, who he rented the room in our 4-4, and then he like immediately started dating a girl like the first weekend of college, and like did that college thing where you just like live with somebody but you don't live with somebody, so you just like
Mhm.
rent an empty room essentially.
Mhm.
And so the only person that lived in the room directly next to mine was her fucking giant ass tarantula, because for whatever reason she didn't keep the tank in her apartment. She's like, "Well, Trent, if you're not going to use your room, let me put my
Just let
big
the
ass
tarantula
tarantula in there unsupervised."
Their tarantulas are pretty nice though. A lot of them like
They're
to be
good.
like
They're good
tickled.
kids.
Mm,
They like to be
mm,
They like to tickle you.
see, you ever get that feeling that my feet, I'm like very hyper focused on my
Tarantula
feet, you know what I mean?
toes?
They're like hypersensitive, like something's gonna crawl over me. I don't like
You
it.
do not like spiders. That's true.
Yeah, one time we were at Roth's house, and Roth was like, I was talking to them in whatever room I was going to be staying in, and they were like, hey, could you grab that cup for me? And I was like, yeah, here you go. And they're like, thanks. And they put it up against the wall, like directly behind my head. And they're like, I didn't want to freak you out, but there's a giant spider under this cup. I was like, what a good friend.
What a
At
good
my-
friend.
But then their brother found out that I didn't like spiders. So they were like, come here for a second. And he comes and he like takes a flashlight and he brings it close to the ground.
The headlamp is a headlamp specifically.
So you can see this like sparkling diamonds all across the grass. And he's like, those are all spider eyes. I was like, I
Nice.
don't want to be here anymore. Anyway.
That's my
Yeah.
worst nightmare.
Anyway.
Yeah.
That is
And
one of the
spiders
worst
are
things I've ever
dope.
heard. Like, I thought he was like, "Oh, I got the spider. Let me show it to you." That's way
Yeah,
worse.
No,
That's
if you've
so
never
bad.
been to my house
Look
at
at these
night, which
millions
some
of
of you
eyes.
have,
That's
Yeah.
they're all up. They're there.
watching.
Roth lives on a
Yeah.
spider farm, spider silk farm.
Well, not
Like that-
anymore, but I used to live on a spider
Lived.
farm, basically.
One of my friends used to raise black widows in college. Yeah,
Mhm.
I know.
By
No,
choice?
listen,
By choice?
black widow spiders. Yeah,
For like a study or just for funsies?
just for funsies.
Yikes. Okay.
Yep. And then because he's a mad scientist, he had a spider that's only supposed to be about this big. And they don't get any bigger because their lungs end up, not being able to support their growth. He got an oxygen tank, put it in their habitat so they could breathe and grow. So it was about the size of my hand.
Mm-mm.
No.
And then it escaped. And then it escaped.
Well, it
No.
probably would have died once it escaped because immediately it would not be able to breathe.
But
So
how many
Right.
people could it have gotten through in that time?
It's true.
That was like a 5-sentence horror story.
Mhm.
Wow.
Mhm.
that reminds me of the Rodney Roaches.
Absolutely not.
What?
I don't want to ask
I think-
questions. I
I
don't
think
want
we're
to
going to go
know.
ahead and leave
I
that
don't want to
there.
know what's. I don't
I
want
well,
to know what's in the
they're
box.
fine. They're gone now. They got rid of the University of Delaware destroyed the entire building to get
I
rid
don't
of
believe
them.
that shit. I don't believe it.
They just,
I've
they
watched
just
that movie
control alt
before.
deleted the building.
Also,
Hold
they
on,
weren't roaches. They
um,
weren't roaches. That's just what they called them. They called them the Rodney Roaches because of the alliteration. What they actually
Rodney
were
roaches.
they were centipedes. They were Chinese centipedes that escaped
No.
from an exchange student.
Even
They took
worse.
over the dorm.
I
Centipedes are
preferred
the ones that are
roaches.
like, or are those millipedes?
Yeah, they could bite.
Because
But yeah,
there's the ones that are like this and the ones that are like this.
Yes, Steph knows. It's a UD thing. They got rid of the Rodney dorms because the Rodney Roaches just got too out of control.
Why did when I look up Rodney Roaches, why did I get Joe's Apartment, a 1996 film by John Payson, and the tagline is "Sexy Bugs Rock and Roll."
Hey, I got that too. Reginald
That's the-
Hudlin
That's the
as
documentary.
Rodney Roach.
Is it
Yeah, that's the documentary they made about it.
1996.
American
huh?
musical? Wait, what? What? What?
Wild.
I don't remember. We never had like an infestation, but I do remember that we knew, like, in college, we knew like 4 people who lived together off campus. If I remember correctly, they all gave each other scabies.
Mhm.
Who's scabies?
And then they were like forced to quarantine for like half a semester.
It's a flesh-eating disease.
That was 2
Oh.
couples trapped in a door, like an apartment with each other for like 4 or 5 months. And it was not great for their relationships.
They
Yeah.
were volatile when they came
Yeah.
out.
Yep.
That was my freshman year.
Yep.
It was
Yeah.
chaos.
It was chaos. Well,
Mm.
hello. Anybody else got any bug things that they want to throw out there? We could keep Raph up a little bit later before we start playing, I think.
Oh God!
I mean, I can tell you about the spiders that used to live at my aunt's house that my sister would trap under a cup, and we refused. My mom and I were like, "Carly, you have to deal with your own spiders now." So we stopped it. So he'd be trapped under the cup, and they were so big that you could hear them. You could hear their little feet as they ran in circles under the cup.
That's fucked up.
They're tarantula
No,
This
toes.
is
it's
your
fucked up.
fault, Will.
They're
This is your
tarantula
fault.
toes? They're tarantula toes?
What's fucked up? What's fucked up is one time my mom just kicked the cup over to let it free because it had been trapped into the cup for like 4 days. And it just scattered away, and my sister's like, "No, it knows what I look like."
Got 8 eyes.
Because you
Got
kept
8
it
eyes.
trapped
And
for
one is
8
always
eyes.
on you.
One is always on you.
How many eyes does a spider have?
I don't know. 8
Eight.
probably. They have 8 of
No.
everything.
I don't think so. I
Yeah.
think that's wrong.
I think it's
No,
more
I
than
think
I
so.
don't think that's
it's just
right.
one
It's
big eye.
probably more.
No, it's
probably more than 8. Probably
It's
varies
much
by
more than
spider,
8.
if I had to guess.
No.
It's much more than.
I don't know. In the cartoons, they always said
No.
it was 8, so I'm gonna go with
Yeah,
that.
in the cartoons.
Charlotte had 8 eyes, so
Do you know
sorry.
squids have 9 legs? Can you believe that shit?
I don't
Spiders
think they're
usually have
legs,
8
babe.
eyes, but few have good eyesight. Get fucked.
Oh my god.
Okay, but I'm also looking at ones where it's like
Oh.
12 and 14 eyes. They can have more.
Sure,
that up.
sure. There's outliers, but it says spiders usually have 8 eyes. So
Okay. Don't forget that you
You're
can't drown a spider.
demonetized.
Flip that real quick.
why
I
would
haven't
forget
forgotten that fun fact, Julia.
Why
I'm
would I
not gonna
forget
let you. Don't forget you can't drown spiders. Hi,
I
cute.
mostly got over my fear because I find the little jumping spiders incredibly cute.
They are adorable.
They're so cute. That went a long
you-
way to helping
are
me
you
get
ready
over my
to-
fear.
Are you ready to edit all of the sorrows shenanigans in the next couple of episodes?
That is coming up, isn't it? Well, on that note, I guess we've been live for 11 minutes, 12 minutes now, so we might as well get into this. Hello, everyone who's watching all of this. We are live from the apocalypse. If you've never caught us before, we're a not-for-profit TTRPG studio that makes actual play content like podcasts and the stream that you're about to watch to raise money for nonprofits and aid organizations and other important causes like that. And we are currently raising money for Doctors Without Borders. We recently finished up our fundraising commitment to Rainbow Railroad. Now we are raising money for Doctors Without Borders, which is a fantastic organization with a very long and storied history. I'm sure you've heard of them. I'm sure you're aware of what they are doing, but especially in this very awful time, then we are very happy to be able to support some of the medical humanitarian aid that they are giving in like 70 different countries across the world, even as we speak, and in particular, the atrocities taking place in the Gaza Strip right now. So if you like what you see here, we just ask that instead of giving us bits or subscribing or doing any of the normal fake currency Twitch stuff, you instead take the $5 or the $6 or whatever you can spare. There is absolutely no expectation, and you instead give it directly to Doctors Without Borders, because we just play games on the internet, silly little games on the internet, and they will do very good and important work with it. So if you'd like to, you can hit that button. You can smash that donate button, which has replaced the subscribe button, which we have hidden. Take it at your own peril. And if you do that, you'll be able to donate directly to Doctors Without Borders. Or if you are on mobile, you can hit !donate in the chat, and you can use that link to do that that way. There'll be an alert. I'll hear it. It might throw me off my game. We'll see. It's only one way to find out. But if you are able to locate the subscribe button, we cannot stop you from doing it. Occasionally, Twitch does throw a few pennies at us from all of the hard-earned money that they collect through the subscriptions. Especially if you have an Amazon Prime subscription, you can throw your Prime sub our way. It doesn't cost you anything extra if you're so inclined. You gotta find that button. And if you do that, just be aware that beloved Dimension 20 Dungeon Master Brennan Lee Mulligan will kill a dog. You'll murder one dog for every month you've been subscribed to this channel. It's getting up there. I'm not going to lie. Started the year off strong.
In all the wrong ways.
Yeah, it's true. I think Corey inherited the Raph curse.
Uh-oh.
Maybe.
Shiro stepped on my power button.
Never mind. It's just Shira.
Shiro stepped on it.
Sure it was.
Yeah, that's nice. I like that.
Make sure I get the right one.
Is that not the one you meant to do? There it is.
Sorry.
There it is.
Sorry. Get back to our previously scheduled.
Listen, I think that's most of the stuff that I had to say. We've got 4 advantage. Oh, yeah, in this game also, if you donate to Doctors Without Borders, I will put an advantage in the pool that the players will be able to use if they need to. But I think that's pretty much all of the introductions and the things that need to be said. So we can probably go ahead and get on into our introductions, starting, of course, with JD.
You know what? This week I actually remembered, mostly because I was reflecting on the fact that I don't have to go after Jamie, and that is a relief. So, hi, I am JD. In this game, I play our agender ranger hunter, and I don't know where we ended. Looks like Will might have given me another father figure. Guess we'll find out.
And it's rough, isn't it?
Oi, 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 hello, governor. It's anyway, hi, it's me, it's Raph. I play Max, who's the bar block, ready to beat up old Peepaw, and put this man in his place, and I don't know, play with some rocks. I don't know. Feels like we're gonna play with some rocks, so I'm excited.
Oh, yeah.
Get revenge for my ravens. There we go.
That's true. They're dead. Fun fact is that Raph is now configured to only be able to play in the in Europe. So we actually had to jailbreak them for them to be here tonight. And Julia.
Hello, I'm Julia. Tonight I'm going to be playing Kelly Violet, who is the cleric rogue hybrid. She's carrying something around inside of her that will hopefully help us in these drastic times. And there's a deer dragon now because my impulse control is 0.
Sometimes, depending on what it is, it's okay to let the intrusive thoughts win.
You were like, it's got little horns. I was like, fuck.
Yep.
I'll follow it to the end of the earth.
I got your number.
You are 6
Ooh, look at that.
Kill that dog.
He's the bad guy. You.
All the bad guys.
As
Thanks
many dogs
for,
as today.
Thanks for 16 more dogs, Pookie.
16 dogs
Playing
and
myself
16.
in, bro.
Yep.
That's my opening music. Here comes the boom.
Speaking of Pookie,
Do you guys like Kevin James? This is Juniper. That's Juniper. Hello, look at this kid. She's so cute. She's so confused. She said, please, God, please take me back.
Double Junie.
Double Juniper. It's Juniperception. I'm Pookie. I play Wayne Hovacek, the greatest Gretzky player of all time. By the end of this game, if you're not saying, I wish I could kiss that guy in the lips, then I've been playing the character wrong. Back to you in the studio.
Incredible. Hello. Hi, my name is Will. I run this game. I'm one of the storytellers here live from the Apocalypse, and I'll be playing everybody else. That's everything that I have to talk about, but we are still joined by a very special guest, Q.
Muted. I'm not anymore. Hello. Hi, I'm Q. I'm here playing Kira, one of the people that has decidedly wanted to kiss Wayne Hovacek on the mouth. So, I think I'm doing things all right. I am, it's, I don't know. I think family trauma is about to rear its ugly head, so this will be fun. I think it'll be fine, honestly. I think as the channel says, it's fine.
It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It is definitely fine. Bon mist, as we are so fond of saying here. So, correct me if I am wrong, but I believe when we left off last time, it was very specifically as you had your first conversation with the Dagda. You had managed to complete your journey, your long journey through the Heartwood, to reach Haven, the one sort of permanent settlement of the Orn in sorry, adjusting some stuff here, in the Heartwood. The Orn, normally a sort of nomadic people, kind of always on the move. But But you had finally reached Haven, and you found it a little disconcerting. You found it to be a little Stepford, if that is a word that applies here. Most of the Orn that you spoke with they seemed fine. They seemed almost excited that the Dagda had returned from banishment. They seemed excited for the future. In particular, the members of Hunter's family pod felt that way and took you into the stone standing in the center of Haven, where you encountered the Dagda seated upon a throne of sorts. And I believe that is basically exactly where we left off. Is it not?
He recited the same thing that Nuada said, which was really eerie, and we didn't like it. And he said,
It's true.
"Welcome, my family." And we
He
were like,
did. He did say that. He
"You
did
don't
say
like
those
it."
things. Well, you liked him. He turned out to be a pretty okay guy, you know? So there's
Yeah,
hope.
but like,
Maybe
Uh,
you'll give Hunter like a robot leg, or like a robot spleen, or something like that. That'd be pretty cool.
certainly possible.
just
So the
losing
moment to
limbs
find
left
out.
I
and right.
have enough beings inside my body. I don't think I need more.
What a sentence.
Phrasing.
Mm.
But not untrue.
Nope. It's not inaccurate.
It's got at least 8 legs in you. At least.
At least.
The leg counter.
So, hey, you walked in. He's seated on the throne. He is like many of the Danan that you have seen so far, of which he is only the third, unless I'm miscounting. He is kind of impossibly beautiful, sort of terrifyingly symmetrical features, fair-skinned, light of hair, kind of long and flowing. And yeah, he welcomes you. And he says, I understand that you have journeyed long and hard to get here. Would you care to find rest?
I'm feeling pretty well rested. I think we have more to talk about than sleeping arrangements.
I suppose we do. I'm never. You're such fragile creatures. I'm never quite certain when you're about to break.
I think we know how to take care of ourselves.
So be it. Then I suppose there's nothing left to do but speak.
That is why we're here.
And so why is it that you have come before me? What is it that you wish to speak of?
The violence. The
Mind
Change.
control?
Yeah, that. Violence, the change in the behavior, the imposition of your will upon sentient creatures in life.
Is that what I have done?
It's not a great defense when you're answering a question with your own question.
I'm asking you honestly. Do you think that that is what I have done? Do you think that I am controlling them, forcing them into violence? Or do you think that perhaps I'm only freeing them from what centuries of oppression have beaten into them?
Given that I've been a recipient of this, yes, I do think you are exerting your will on them. Because I certainly did not have a choice.
And what is it that you have done that is so horrible? What did I force you to do that was so wrong? Who have you lashed out at?
I nearly killed a man on the council.
An innocent man.
I didn't say that. But I would have chosen to handle that differently than proving everyone in that room right.
That's not what I asked, is it? What did you want to do in that moment?
I wanted to put him in his place, but not like that.
Your actions would suggest otherwise. When did you lash out at anyone else?
No. I'm gonna roll a little deception there.
Sure.
I'm gonna roll an 8.
There's no sense lying to me, child. We are kin, after all.
I lashed out at someone else, yes.
And they had never wronged you either. They had never hurt you.
I didn't say that.
Then are you so sure that it was me making you do these things? Or maybe it was just what you'd always wanted to do, but lacked the nerve.
You're twisting everything. That isn't what this is.
Contrary. I think my way of seeing things is far simpler than yours.
Hunter has proved from the moment they came back into all of our lives that they are strong and capable of defending themselves and all of us with violence if necessary, when they deem it necessary. And never before out of anger or a boiled over temper.
You hold yourselves back so much, and for what?
An eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. This, that, the other. Because we want to live in this world with these people, not apart from these people.
I don't disagree. An eye for an eye, as you say. But perhaps the lesson there is not never take the eye. Perhaps the lesson there is don't stop at the eye. If your enemy has the chance to take yours in retaliation, you've already lost. You see, you complicate so many things by holding yourselves back and questioning what is right, what is just, when the sad, heartbreaking truth of this world and all others, and I have seen a few, remember, is that in the end, it's all for naught.
So what would you have?
Live a life that is truly free.
Freedom isn't what I saw out there. Freedom wasn't what I saw when I saw my family. I've seen them free. And this was not that.
But I am also your family.
It's a very soft chuckle from Kira.
You're doing it again. You're changing the subject. You're moving the direction. You're not answering questions.
You asked me a question. I'll not lie to you, it's not our way.
Fine. What are you doing to all of the Orn? Because that is not setting them free.
And I answered you truthfully, child. Perhaps we just disagree about the nature of freedom.
Because your definition is controlled by you?
It's nothing about control, it's about removing control, removing roadblocks, hesitation, restraint, letting the truest feelings, the truest thoughts, desires, wishes shine through.
That way everyone's repeating the same sentence over and over again?
Yes, thank you, Kelly. Thank you.
I know I heard that. It wasn't just you. I heard that. You guys hear that?
They are connected to Ak, the spirit of this place, the spirit of this world. And Ak is connected to me. And I'm afraid that I can't control what slips through.
Don't believe you.
That's your choice, but as I've said, it's not our way to lie.
Not your way to lie, but it's also not your way to tell the whole truth.
And what would I have to gain from that?
You feel better about yourself?
I'm afraid that is an alien concept.
Too human.
Purely the purview of mortals.
Maybe you're more like us than you think.
I've walked that path.
Not going to add to that.
We all have. My brothers and my sisters, we've all explored it during a time where we were our most diminished, our most starved, nearly dying in a place that was dead. If the sun shines on a noon, then it sets on the world that you come from. And I spent long enough there to feel myself begin to fade. We thought perhaps we would simply become like you. But we never did. Some tried harder than others. So no, I'm afraid that I don't understand feeling better about myself because I've never understood feeling bad. I simply am immutable, a fact, as are all of us. No matter what you may argue or suggest, you can't overcome a fact.
Why do you hesitate?
In what way am I hesitating?
We stand before you. We very much disagree. We fought your soldiers. You opened the path for us. You say you act on true emotion.
Because I'm not certain we do disagree. And that is why I'm willing to have this conversation, let you ask your questions of me, in the hopes that you might understand.
Then that's not a conversation if you're just expecting us to agree with you.
So what would you call it then?
An indoctrination. But Max is right. You wanted us here. You wanted me here. So here I am. Here we are.
To give you a chance. To give all of our children a chance. Even the lost ones. His gaze will kind of wander idly over Kira.
Abandoned, more like.
Not by choice. It was not our choice to leave this world behind. If it had been our choice, we would have stayed, just as it is now our choice to take it back.
To what end? I guess that is the biggest question there is, isn't it?
At first, to regain ourselves. Centuries locked away on a dying world have weakened us. But enough time here, enough time with the world cauldron flowing around us, through us, and we will regain ourselves. From there, it's hard to say. Who knows? There are other worlds that aren't quite so starved as your own, that we have yet to explore. But this place, it's familiar, and we are not yet so bored of it.
And so what? You'll play with the inhabitants of this world until you tire of the games? And we're just supposed to stand there and say that that's okay?
Whether you will it acceptable or not, what recourse do you have? What will you do? Strike me down?
Maybe. Maybe not. I think we're still deciding what to do with you.
I had forgotten. Your ancestors were so cowed in the end, groveling, worshipping. I'd forgotten just how impetuous mortals can be. It's refreshing. I'll give you that.
How far away are we?
How far do you want to be? Probably not very.
Cool. Okay. So hear me out, right? Okay. I think Kira wants to hit him real bad. And like that could end poorly, but I still think he wants to do it.
Okay. I'm into it.
Okay. Yeah, okay, we're gonna do it. Wish me luck. RIP maybe. We'll see.
All right, yeah. I'm down. Yeah. How are you doing this? Are you just like attacking once? I guess tell me what it looks like, and then roll.
So it's that, classic anime instant transmission, just up there, and then the Gritsky stick is whirling, just trying to get him right in the chin at least twice, and then one across the face. That is what we are going for.
Okay.
So,
Well, then, first up, I'm going to need you to roll.
okay, we're gonna roll. Everybody, wish me luck.
Good luck.
Bless. Bless, bless,
Okay,
bless, bless, bless.
okay. So I can only do one better.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, ready? Okay, there we go. Yeah. So that is a. I think the mask has to come down. Probably.
If you're feeling some type of way, do it.
Yeah, a little bit. There's the screaming face, the sound that you can feel. So he needs to make a DC 17. Yes, no, 16 deck save. I'm sure he's fine.
Fuck up. Fuck up.
He
Fuck
might
up.
be.
Fuck up.
Plus
Just roll.
16 to a save.
Like an 8 or something.
Okay.
Just kidding. Plus 15.
All right. Very cool. Very cool. And so
with the mask up and the screaming, that's a 27 to hit.
Okay.
Okay. That's the 10. So we're gonna go with no on that.
You hit him.
What?
You hit him, but he
I
does
hate
make
that.
the saving throw. So you are fast, and you hit him. And I think maybe you even actually see, because I assume you're like rocking him across the jaw.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Like,
And so, yeah,
like, yeah, no, for sure.
you get right up to him and you hit him, and his head moves as you hit him, and like they feel like good, solid hits. And I think it's hard for you to tell if it hurts or not, because he doesn't look angry. His expression is actually very hard to read. And I think you don't know if you don't know if you were fast enough to catch him off guard, or if he let you do this, or what. It doesn't seem particularly hurt or bothered by it. I do need to know how many hit points you have.
Oh dear. What? Question. Why?
Yes.
Why?
I just need to know if it's less than 100.
Oh, it absolutely is. It's 1000% is.
What a sentence.
You hit him.
Cool. Yep.
And his head like turns to the side and then comes back around to look directly at you. And he says one word so quietly that the rest of you can't really make out what it is. Or maybe it's just in a language you don't understand. And there is a second of stillness before you see Kira start to you see the texture of Kira as a whole start to change. And I think a second later, you have like a second before you see Kira kind of look back at the rest of you, look down, look back at the rest of you, and then just sort of falls into a pile of autumn leaves.
What did you do?
Oh, I killed him. With a word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, rule for everyone else, not the rules for you. Yeah, I think that makes our decisions are pretty clear, I think.
Well, all right then. Go ahead and bring him on back.
I could, of course. But I'm afraid I would require something. From you all.
No problem.
What would it require from us?
Fine. I go to hand over a wand of pyrotechnics.
The prized
Wait,
possession.
no. Anything but that.
The
gotta
hour
go-
grows.
No, I was just gonna say we gotta go dig up the Tusky, but I'm joking.
The hour grows late. You all must be so tired. Take your rest. We'll speak on the morrow.
How do you think we can rest after you just killed one of us?
Well, if you can't rest, then perhaps reflect on the foolishness that cost your friend his life. And consider your next course of actions more wisely.
All he did is what you've been encouraging everyone else to do.
He expressed his freedom on your face.
He did.
Hypocrisy
Twice.
is an ugly, ugly look.
Well, that's the thing about freedom, isn't it? He chose poorly.
Your freedom doesn't allow for choice.
And I
And yet
disagree.
you punished him.
He chose to attack me. And I chose to kill him. Neither of us is wrong for that. Because there is no wrong. Just as there is no right. There's simply who is stronger. And that is me. And you'd do well to remember that.
Are you stronger than your siblings? Like, what if they decided to express their freedom all over your face and your, like, brain blew out of the back of your head? Or, like, the back of the tree or whatever it is you happen to be wearing?
Wayne,
That's me.
roll an insight check.
Oh, shit. I got a -1. Let's go. That was a 13 minus 1 is a 12. Let's go.
Do you want to use one of them?
Yeah, I do.
Um,
I want to use one of the things. Nat
Sure,
20,
yeah.
let's go.
Do it.
I got an 8. I'll go with a 12. Let's go.
Cool. You see something flash across his expression when you say that, but you don't know what it is. If that day were to ever arrive, I think it would be Anoon's last.
Did it be your last? That's for sure.
take the night. Think about what your freedom means to you. We'll speak in the morning.
I think Max just looks over at Hunter, letting them kind of guide the situation. Hand on gallows, ready to go should the call be made. Literally twitching.
Hunter has been staring at where Kira fell, and when they feel Max's eyes on them, they look over and their eyes visibly widen when they see where his hand is, and just shake their head, and then look to the doctor and say, "Very well. We'll take the night. We'll reflect on what freedom means to us. Maybe we'll write an essay about it."
Don't look so sad. Could have been worse. Some of my siblings would have eaten him. And there'd be no coming back from that.
Well, right now his life is still in your hands, and that is not exactly comforting.
Make no mistake, child. All of your lives are in my hands.
Spicy. Well, I think we all need to take a reprieve after this. Can I take him? Can I take him with me? It's like a pile of leaves, right? Wayne turns his arm into a rake, wraps his backpack, tries to get as many leaves in there as he can.
Allow me to help. And he will kind of like
Hands to your fucking self.
lazily wave a hand. And I think actually the leaves are going to be bundled up into a like plastic yard bag.
All right, thanks. Good night.
Sleep well. Okay. And you leave. You leave the stone the way you came in. Then you're back outside. Among the concentric circles of standing stones that comprise the center of Haven. Lots of Orn milling around out here.
He lacks dignity and grace.
I think he lacks like a whole point too. Like I feel like he says a bunch of shit, nothing ever really comes out.
Well, yeah, because he's a bully. He's thinks he's the biggest and the strongest, and he thinks that means he's right.
I think he's afraid of us.
Could be. I mean, how many
He
times
had the
can he kill somebody
ability-
with a word in a day? You know?
He had
Could
the
be more
ability
than
to
4.
kill us. He didn't have to wait. Why didn't he?
Because he's a bully, Max. There's no enjoyment for the bully if the person is Q.
Are you kidding me?
That's pretty funny.
A bully.
It's a good bit, a great bit even, but I'm going to need you to stop.
You did this to you, William.
Yeah, I'm not sorry. I'll do it again.
Don't make promises
Sorry.
like that tonight. Don't make promises.
God.
Max has like 300 hit points. Max would get a saving throw.
Yeah, I have like
True.
300, so we're good.
No, yeah, Kelly's just gonna say, she's like, he's a bully, Max. If he just kills us and gets rid of us, then who's he gonna bully?
Hmm.
He's too much of a coward to do it to his siblings. That's why he's here, not trying to boss them around. He's the supposedly their leader, and yet he's here by himself, as far out as he can be, dicking around.
Hmm.
He's a bully. He came to people who he could manipulate. It's all there.
So how are we gonna kill him?
The problem is, I don't think we can.
I think Kelly's right.
Is that not what we came here to do?
We came here to stop him. That doesn't necessarily mean we have to kill him, Max.
Will we just go along with what he says?
No, absolutely not.
Then what do you suggest? Because our friend is a pile of leaves now. I don't know if talking is the way to go.
No, probably not. But what we probably need to do is find out what he wants and how we can break it.
We know what he wants. He wants power.
He wants a favor.
Oh.
He said he's going to get. He said he'll bring Kira back if we do something for him.
That's right.
He wants us to do something for him that he can't do.
Wonder what he can't do. Kill
Look
two
good.
people with one word? Probably at least have to say 2 words.
He wants us to buy a gun. No, I don't know.
Hunter pulls
have
out
a
the gun.
We do.
Too little, too late, Dugda.
Surprise! You thought you left Ohio behind.
Oh no, bullets, my one weakness.
Somebody call an ambulance.
Could you imagine, though?
I'm gonna just throw out there for tomorrow. I can smell it on the winter winds. That I think I could maybe bring someone back to life. I've never done it before, but I think I could give it a shot. I never really thought it'd be important, but it might be useful tomorrow. So I'll keep that in my back pocket. Trick
Can you
shot.
do it now?
Nope, can't do it now. Thought about it. Thought about preparing that one. But I didn't practice that slap shot on my off day.
Is there not
Thought I'd go for the
some
old underhook over banana. Should have gone for the straight up slap.
is there not some sort of cleric in Haven somewhere we can go in the woods?
I mean, I think Kelly has a good point. If we hear what he would ask of us, that might give us a clearer sense of what we can offer him, something that he can't have on his own. And if Wayne can have that spell prepared, we don't have to give him what he asks for, but I think we need to know what it is.
At this point, we just don't know enough, is the biggest thing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll have to kind of wait till the morning. See what happens. Just make sure we're all refreshed and we got all of our preparations prepared for what we don't know what's going to happen. Will, about what time is it right now?
It's Probably just mid-afternoon.
Mid-afternoon? What are we going to do all day?
Great question. I mean, we could time skip unless there is anything that anybody wanted to do.
I do want to, if I'm remembering right, one of the things that Hunter had seen was the broken staff. They would like to go over and check that out.
Okay. Are the rest of you going with Hunter, or Hunter, are you trying to do this by yourself?
I don't think Hunter specifies what they're doing. They just start walking.
Yeah,
but you can follow. Like,
Because I
they're not
do
gonna
think
stop
also,
you.
sure, and I do think also, like, once you're out there, we'll say probably Hunter's family would once again basically approach the four of you, and be like, "Oh, wasn't there one more?" No, they don't say that. But
Jesus.
nice bag of leaves you have there. So
Good salad.
No, I think they would approach you though, and they would say, we have prepared accommodation, shelter for you. So if you want to rest."
Thank you. That is very kind.
Of course. And of course, tonight we will celebrate that you have come home. Finally.
I do not know that I realized how long my absence had been.
We felt it all the more strongly, knowing the glory that would follow soon. The thought of you being out there when we free ourselves broke our hearts.
And how close is my arrival to that big day?
Oh, who can say? Who can say? But it grows closer. We know this. But that is not for us to decide, of course. It is for our great Father to decide.
So much for
What
freedom of choice.
has he told you what will happen that day?
Ak will rejoice. All will be as it was meant to be. When Ak is free, so too are the Orn.
I feel like things have changed since I've been gone. I always understood that Ak already was free, but I may have misunderstood.
Free, yes, of course. Ak is everything. Ak is the whole world, spirit of world, of course, yes. But there are shackles now, as there have been for so long. Shackles of stone and metal all across this world. Shackles made by man that must be broken by Orn.
Then why wait?
That is not for us to say, of course.
Of course, that's for the father to say. I think I'm starting to understand. I've been away so long.
Of course you are. Your connection to Ak has always been one of the strongest. I cannot wait to see it. We have heard so much. I can almost picture it in my mind, but seeing it in person will be different.
What have you heard?
And they smile at you. When you lead us into battle, when you stand at the front of our great host as we take back not just the Heartwood, but this entire world. As you wipe them all out.
Oh, that. Hunter is looking desperately at Kelly.
Okay. Kelly's gonna kind of come in and swoop in, just kind of negotiate herself in between with her little dragon buddy at her feet, so that Hunter's no longer directly in the line of sight on this. And she'll go, and how much of this preparation was done before the father came back? How long have you been thinking about this before the father came back? Or were you thinking of other things before the father came back? Because
I do not understand. We do not think of this. It simply will be. As it was always meant to be. What do you say? Destiny.
destiny doesn't really make a lot of sense.
I'm afraid
There's too many living things. Each living thing has its own destiny. If destiny is real, correct? If destiny is real, each living thing has its own destiny. Each living thing is destined for great things. It doesn't make a lot of sense. So you didn't plan before the father came back. You just waited for the father.
No. You misunderstand.
Do I?
Not every living thing has destiny.
Why not?
Hunter has destiny. You all have destiny.
And what about your destiny?
Orn have no destiny. Orn will be free. Do as we wish.
And why couldn't you do that before? Because I'm pretty sure Hunter's brother left and went and enjoyed a very prestigious sports program because they felt like leaving the woods.
Must be failure of translation. Orn have always been free.
Right.
You four are not free.
Feel?
You have destiny.
Oh.
Orn will do as they wish.
Then why haven't you until now?
Time is not right yet.
But why not?
The father has not said so.
So if the father hadn't shown back up, you would still just be here?
We would do as we wish.
So the
Is
father's
what
here so you get to do what you wish, but you do what you wish anyway.
We wish to follow the father into battle. Well, I don't understand what is so confusing about this.
I don't
we're
understand.
doing what we want
Well-
to do.
Well,
Now we do what we want to do, which
I don't
is
understand.
follow the Dagda into battle and
But
I
you
guess
said
kill
Hunter.
everyone.
but you
Yeah,
said Hunter.
Right, Hunter has destiny. All 4 of you have destiny. You are not free.
That doesn't feel right.
I'm sorry.
I don't feel like you're understanding.
I feel like you are not understanding, small one.
No, I feel like you're
I
not
think
understanding
we're
because
all-
no,
We're on
because
two
if
different books. You can't get on the same fucking page if you're in 2 different sections of the library. All
no,
right.
because
Our
you
friend
said
is in a fucking bag right now.
yes, Wayne, I understand that, but what I don't understand is so are you following Hunter into are you destined to follow Hunter or are you destined to follow the father?
Or are not destined to do anything. What is confusing about this?
You said you were going to follow one of the Hunter into battle, and then you
Yes.
said you were waiting for the father's timing. So who is in charge?
The Dagda is in charge, of course. He's the father. Hunter is the child. Hunter will stand at the side of the father, as they were always meant to. For that is their destiny. And they have no choice in this matter.
Wrench in your plan. I've met Hunter's father. That's not Hunter's father. Now what?
I'm afraid you must have been mistaken.
No, I don't think I am. Do you want to kill a bunch of people? Is that what does it for you? Ever heard the noise people make when they die?
It's not in our nature to be violent or bloodthirsty, but
Then why would you follow them into battle?
because it will free Ak.
And how is Ak imprisoned?
By the shackles of stone and metal.
Isn't stone part of the earth? Doesn't it come from the earth?
Yes.
And doesn't that mean Ak is in all the metal and all the stone? Like
There is
part of it and doing it?
There is metal in your blood.
Yeah.
Can you not be shackled by metal?
Fucking got your ass. Wayne said.
While all this is going on, can Hunter look at the fucking staff?
Yeah,
I'll tell you.
absolutely.
Because otherwise I will just keep going.
Wayne is shaping a pile of leaves into the shape of Kira.
You're taking Kira out of the bag?
No, of course
Stop.
not.
What if you lose
touching them.
What if you lose a leaf?
You're gonna come back missing a patch of hair. Don't do that.
How many leaves can we lose and it still be Kira?
Do you want to find out?
What if you add more leaves? Will I be taller than Max?
That's
It's
an
more of a
interesting question.
philosophical question.
Never.
I suppose.
Will you be
No,
more
you'll just have
buff?
leaves in your
Maybe.
hair.
If I keep taking leaves out of the bag but replace them with leaves from outside of the bag, how
We're
many
not going to
leaves can
ship
I
up
take out of the
Theseus
bag?
Kira. We're not going to do that.
You were looking at the staff? You
I
were going to try to
was,
find
yes.
the staff? Okay. Cool. Yeah, I mean, you saw it when you walked in. You saw that it had been broken in half and set into the ground, I believe, outside of the largest standing stone.
If Hunter moves to touch it, does anyone stop them?
Nope.
They're going to pick it up. and just study it.
It feels like two different pieces of wood. It's covered in inscriptions, pictographs. You know that combined, it kind of spells out the entire history of the Orn.
What would it take to be put back together?
Duct tape, packing tape, wood glue, maybe.
Wood glue. Do none of us have mending, bruv? Like basic D&D spell.
You could use mending. If you have different type of magic that you think could do it, like it wouldn't be hard in theory.
Nothing.
I'm gonna ask kind of an unhinged question because I like
Hell
trying
yeah.
to break the rules of D&D.
I'm barely using the rules. Go for it.
I'm wondering if I could convince you to let me use something like bark skin, but transferring it to the staff to have it pieced together
into your
way.
body. Got it. Yes. Okay.
Now you have a fuck you.
Listen, if I can make it whole and it just has to be attached to my arm, like I'll do that.
I mean, listen, if you want to try to do that, I'm down. I think I would probably want you to make a nature check.
Ironically, I don't think I've ever rolled with nature a day in my life.
That doesn't seem right. I'm sure I've made you roll nature.
23.
Okay.
Oh,
I think as you hold the two halves in your hand, you think back. Your mind kind of wanders back to a very long time ago, almost 10 years ago, when you first fell into the Heartwood and were found by Orn, unable to understand what it was that they were saying to you or trying to communicate. You probably weren't treated very well at first. Not roughly or anything like that, but definitely regarded with suspicion and confusion more than anything. You would have heard a lot of arguments, even if you didn't understand what exactly was being said in regards to your presence, your continued existence here in the Heartwood. And I think inevitably they would have been left with no other option but to take you here to Haven. And I think this is where you met Kat. They brought you almost this exact spot. And when they did, there was an Orn. You'd spent enough time around them to start to understand that the older they were, the more weathered their skin looks. The more, when they're young, it's almost greenish tinged, like the wick of a tree branch or something like that. And then the older they get, the more bark-like it becomes. And Shiro stepped on that key again.
Shiro said, "Get wrecked."
Yeah, Shiro said, "We're done here." Shiro said, "It's break time." And Kath was surprisingly younger looking to you than some of the Orn that brought you here. Not nearly as weathered looking as you might have expected. Not nearly as bark-like. He was seated in a cross-legged position with the staff, with the two parts of the staff that you hold now, whole, sort of just resting across his lap. When you were brought before him, he spoke briefly with the Orn that brought you here, tried to speak to you in that same language that you didn't understand, and then eventually spoke to you in English, as far as you could tell, and said, "Why are you here?"
I don't know. I didn't mean to come here. Do you know how I can get home?
No. You misunderstand. You've done nothing wrong. I'm simply asking if you know why you are here. You are lost. I understand.
Yes.
But you are here for a reason.
I am.
You are. I know this to be true.
How?
Because he set one end of the staff into the ground and used it to pull himself up. He kind of gestures to it and says, "Because everything that ever has been, or ever will be true about the Orn is inscribed here. And you are part of that."
That doesn't make sense. I didn't know I was going to be here, and I don't think I'm supposed to be here. I think I'm supposed to be in Ohio.
Well, it is too late for once. Because here you are.
So then what do I do now?
What all things must do. Live. Hunter from Ohio. This is not such a bad place to live.
It's beautiful. What is it?
This is the Heartwood. This is our home. And now, it is yours as well. I have some friends that you should meet. And then he would have led you to meet your family pod. They would have spoken to each other in the language that you don't understand. There may have been some disagreement, at least from one of your parents at first. But in the end, they accepted you. Now you have the two halves of Keth's staff in your hands. You almost unconsciously cast Barkskin. And it almost, it's made of this old gnarled wood that almost unwinds in your hands as it starts twining up your arms. And where it encounters the parts of your body that are covered with the Ornock, sort of merges and joins with those and creates new patches as well. And when you look down at yourself, at your hands that are now empty, there's a lot more of that bark-like substance covering your body than there was before. And it's inscribed with pictographs that, if Keth is to be believed, contain the truth of everything that has ever been true about the Orn, or ever will be.
I think Hunter is just standing there, staring down at their empty hands and then at their arms, trying to make sense, first of all, of what just happened, but with that memory in mind, seeing what they can glean from the images they can see.
You stare at them for a long time, but meaning doesn't emerge for you. You don't know if there's still something missing, or if, despite the fact that you now carry them, they still were not meant for you. And that's where we're going to take a break. We'll be back in like 10 minutes. Don't go away. Stick around.
I'm telling you, dude, you need to learn some bath etiquette, and you need some like extra bath education to really make the most of the bath.
And you need a glitter bath bomb.
And you need a glitter bath bomb.
I mean, maybe
Definitely.
I need a glitter bath bomb.
I will 1000% pass on. Listen, I'm gay. I'm not glitter gay. I simply cannot abide.
Well, then you'll be able to show your asshole on Twitch.
There you go. Look, these shoulders are not fitting in any bathtub in the city where I live. That's all I'm saying.
You don't. Your
Why do
shoulders
you
are
wait?
in
How do you go down that low?
I would like to go down that low because otherwise the top half of my body
At
is
that
cold.
point, you just need a hot tub, honey.
That's what, yes, if it was a hot tub, we would be in business.
Yeah, that's true. A hot tub, I can fuck with.
Yeah.
Hot tub.
I've been trying to get into the hot
Baths
tub
are
business. If this is the opportunity I've been waiting for, you're talking to the right guy.
Okay.
You're
That's
trying to
fair.
get into the hot tub business?
Yeah, dog. I got a bunch of gold bars I need to unload.
Oh, her.
If there's an investment opportunity,
How many?
particularly
10 ounce or 10 ounce 50 or 100, because I can tell you what the market value is on
That's true. Julia was in the gold business for a while.
I was.
if we were
You know what
live
I
on
held?
camera,
Do you know what I held? I held a. Have you ever seen one of the? Have you ever heard of a big Philharmonic? Have you ever heard of a big Phil?
Mm-hmm.
Big Phil?
Philharmonics are the Austrian gold tender. They have the Philharmonic Orchestra printed on them, but there are one, and they make them in various sizes, including tenths, which are the goddamn devil. But they also make the big fills, which are about the size of like a manhole cover. Very heavy, very obnoxious.
Holy
There's like
shit.
People carry
15.
them around.
Yeah,
Like a quarter, but bigger.
it's a big fill. And you gotta like wear cotton gloves to hold it and all this other stuff. And there were like 15 like good ones, and then one got loaned out for a trade show, and they dropped it, and it went down the stairs, and it got like a bunch of fucking dings in it, and it devalued it by like thousands of dollars. That shit was crazy.
Wait, how much
so
is
it's
one
not
worth?
a quarter. Yeah.
Like a tenth, or what do you mean? Like
A
the
big
How much
one
is
of
a
the
big
big
fill
fills?
worth?
Not honestly, not as much as a license plate in Delaware, but
I have no
What?
frame of reference. Like more
we've
or
talked
less than a
we've talked
quarter.
about those license plates in Delaware. It's the ones that are like 3
It's too
license plates, and they go for.
It's too late. It's too late.
Is that like a
Please.
euphemism?
No, we've
Alright.
talked about this. We've talked about the Delaware license
We've
plate.
talked about so many things, Julie.
I remember
talked
talking
about
about this because you
amazing.
the
can get
license
one.
plate that had the license plate that had the number 6 on it that went for $860,000 at auction.
That's
I
how
feel
much
like I
of
would
that
remember
that's how
this
much
if
a big
we'd-
fill is worth.
George Washington got the #1 plate. They call it the Washington.
I
They call
do
it
remember
the
the
big
conversation
bill.
about that license.
Okay, which one do you want to know about? The license plate or the big fill?
I want big fill.
Big Phil. How much bigger is Big Phil than a quarter? Is it like $half
It's a
size?
manhole cover.
A manhole cover.
Oh,
And I guess you could cover a man's hole with a quarter, but
yeah.
I don't
You
think that's what we're talking about.
absolutely can't
Depends on
cover
if
a
I'm
man's
on
hole with
Twitch.
a quarter. As long as it's not a glittery hole, then you're good to go.
It's true. It depends on the man, of course, but
Well, right now 1 ounce is going for a little over $2,000.
how
But I
can it
don't
be
think
an
anyone-
ounce if it's the size? How can it be an ounce if it's the size of a manhole cover?
No, I'm saying
How
an
could it be an
ounce
ounce
is
if it's
going.
size
I'm
of
trying to
an
find
ants?
how much the current big fills are going for, but there's only
yeah,
like
I need a big fill.
How much is a dime going for?
A dime is 10 cents, homie. I don't know what
No,
you're
that was a
talking
weed
about.
joke. Never mind.
Nice. Love
A-
them.
but you can get Philharmonics in tenths, and those are going for about 202 euros.
How much for a Q?
Why are you doing this to me?
Get it?
Yeah, I get it. It's a good joke.
You feeling okay?
Sure,
Are
bite
any
me,
of us?
bro. I'm
I feel
petting
like-
Shiro and he's biting me.
I'm as tired as Raph is, and I am on Eastern Standard Time.
Relatable.
No, I've surpassed the delirious stage. I'm back on, like, I've passed the point of the sleepover where people are hanging out and it's cool, and now you're like, everyone's laying down and there's one person that's still chatting. That's usually me.
I was gonna
Same.
say,
But everyone else is like,
sounds
what if we
Raph
just go to
behavior.
sleep? That's usually
getting a
Corey and
call right
I.
Okay. Well,
No, we still don't know what the big fill.
I will get you the big fill number. I have to go into Johnson and Matthey. Hold on. I will get you the answer.
who are they?
Johnson and Matthey?
No, don't answer that. That was a bad joke.
Oh, no, don't ask me. I'll give you an answer if you ask me a question. You don't want these answers.
What is Corey? What is happening right now?
Trying to get
That's
the
a
perfect
man.
angle
Yeah.
for Churro.
Every so often, you disappear, and it's just the terrifying you behind you.
What's up?
Nothing.
It's Churro Cam.
Yeah, but then it's Corey Cam.
It's Churro Cam. See? They're friends.
Dude,
I like
cover up
this.
that manhole.
Terrifying.
Okay.
It's Churro Cam.
All right. So Hunter's not here. No, there you are. Okay, cool. Okay, so Hunter, you are not getting anything from this new bark that is all over your body, but are you calling it a night after that? Does anybody have anything else they want to do before the next morning when you were supposed to reconvene with the Dagda.
I'm just gonna tell this little dragon creature what I've decided to call it, but then I'm good.
I was gonna try. Oh, hello.
Are you there?
Yeah, you're good. I left Facebook open on my work computer, and the thing's turned on, so I have to sign in and close Facebook because it's gonna ding otherwise.
Yeah, sure.
Corey, why?
Corey.
I was trying to put a different one on there. I have multiple backgrounds.
Keep
called
it.
Juniper background. It's that one.
Oh
We're
god.
good. Max, were
Okay.
you doing anything tonight?
Yes, I wanted to see if I could convene with the Raven Queen.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
It's a
That
word,
is
right?
interesting.
Convene?
Yeah.
Why does it feel wrong?
Normally it's reconvene. You don't get a lot of convenes. It's kind of like whelmed. But
I think I meant commune. I think
that's
sounds more
also what you
appropriate.
meant. But yeah, you could try that. How would you go about that? I think is my question.
I think I would step away from the town, maybe on the
Yeah.
outskirts in like a private area. And I collected those raven feathers from the birds that we ate. And I think I'm going to, I don't know, Max doesn't understand this type of stuff very well, so I think he'll just like lay them out and then maybe like hold one in his hand. And just like sit crisscross applesauce and close his eyes and just like try. Last time all the birds died, but the birds ain't here anymore.
It's true.
I think he's trying to commune with the Raven Queen to see what her feelings are about what's going on. Is she afraid of the Dagda?
Roll an Arcana check.
Brother. At least my Arcana. Oh boy. It's a -1.
That's a huge quarter.
I didn't roll everybody's stuff today. I have no idea what everyone's fate is.
Dog, you didn't even roll for us before the session started.
I didn't even roll for y'all, and I'm facing the consequences because that's a 7.
Damn.
Whose dice was it?
It was mine. I didn't want to hex anyone.
You close your eyes and you have this feather in your hand that you're kind of trying to connect to the Raven Queen with.
I think he'll also, just to add to it, he'll use bee speech, and I know there aren't any ravens around, but hoping that bee speech will help connect him further with the Raven Queen.
At first, it's just quiet, and you don't hear anything specifically. But then you hear a voice say, "You seem troubled." When you open your eyes, the Dagda is seated across from you,
Oh my fucking god. I think Max says that out loud. Collects the
Not-
raven feathers.
Not here. Not in this world.
You the one that hurt the ravens. Was that some sort of threat?
I don't make threats.
I don't think you know the meaning of the word.
Which, I said several.
I don't really have time to play games with you. You said you'd answer honestly. Ravens. Was that you?
It was, in so much that this place is mine. She is not welcome here.
Thought she was family.
Family can be complicated.
What about your family right here? What about us?
You could have a place in what comes next.
What would be our place here?
Wow,
Following your lead?
of course. Of course it would be.
You know, for someone so ancient, you're very predictable.
Is that so?
Mm.
Then what am I going to do next?
I don't really give a shit. What do you think of the dreamer?
Ah, haven't you given enough of yourself away?
I don't know what you mean.
You are all descended from us. You all have a connection to us, weak as it might be, but only one of you has struck a bargain for more power. Only one of you has pledged yourself, sold yourself to one of my siblings.
You should be proud about that. That was my freedom, was it not?
Of course, well, in a way, I suppose.
You didn't answer the question about the dreamer. You're not very good at answering questions.
What do I think of the dreamer? I think that the dreamer comes to devour life, to destroy it utterly, consume until there's nothing left to consume. I don't think that you are able to conceive of what the dreamer really is. But if you could, you'd fear it a lot more than you'd fear me.
Do you fear it?
I can't.
And why is that?
Because we don't feel.
I thought you said you couldn't lie.
And I'm not. You've met Noada. Did it seem like he understood the emotions that he claimed to be feeling?
Is feeling them not enough?
Or did it seem like he was pretending, acting out what he thought they would feel like if he were able to understand them?
I don't think it matters. He acted upon those feelings, whether he was pretending or trying or not.
And this time, that went in your way. That was fortunate. But could have been just as easily you that he was tearing apart. Just as easily be the people of that city.
Hmm. You're not very fun to talk to.
I suppose that depends on what it is you're asking. Maybe you're just not asking me very interesting questions.
To be honest, I didn't really want to talk to you to begin with.
No, you wanted to speak to my sister. And what about it? What was it that you wanted to ask her? One of the Danan sits in front of you. Everything she knows, I know.
I don't have to ask you anything. You can act coy and sly and godly. You've been defeated before.
Never again.
We'll see about that. I don't think Max stays.
Okay. What are you
He
doing?
just collects the raven feathers and leaves.
You stand up You collect the raven feathers. You stand up and you start to walk away from him. He's still seated. You take a few steps away, and then you feel your feet start to sink into the earth like quicksand. And the dog just stands up. You hear him moving around behind you. And he starts to sort of pace around to stand in front of you once again. He says, I'm afraid that you won't be walking out of here. I have need of your friends, but your journey ends here.
What makes you so confident?
I understand that you have stood against a great number of things, Max Miller. Monsters, abominations, even gods. But he looks at you, sort of sideways. I own this world. And I think that is the last thing Max Miller sees
What
before he disappears into the earth itself. The Dagda takes a second, then turns and walks towards the standing stone. For the rest of you, Max does not come back that night.
I mean, we're not going to find him, but that means Hunter is out there all night, desperately searching for him.
That's fair.
Oh, Wayne, you can do that find person thing, which I think would tell us. Yeah.
Well, Wayne does find person, or well, he only has find. I think it's locate object. So we
Oh, that's right.
quick cast locate object to search for Max's dead body, but Max isn't dead. So he's like, "All right, that's a really good sign for sure." I don't know. Let's ask around a little bit. Did the Orn know anything about this?
I imagine by the time Max goes out to try to do this thing with the feathers, it's probably pretty late. So I don't think you see a lot of Orn like out and about. But if you try to like talk to any of them, no. No one's seen Max.
No, of course not. There's no Warren Bossing say. They haven't seen shit.
Can Hunter do maybe a nature check or a survival check or something? Can you track down where Max walked to and then fell into a puddle
We
of
find
the
one.
earth?
You could
feather.
try.
Yeah.
You could try.
Could I?
Yeah, you could try. Roll survival.
Okay.
Do some tracking.
Yeah. It's your shit right here.
That is a 26.
Okay. Yeah, I think with that, you absolutely do find footprints from Max leading away from Haven and out a little ways. And there are maybe, we'll say you find one feather on the ground, but all of a sudden, the tracks just stop. They just vanish.
Hunter is climbing trees. Hunter is
Yeah, you stay
probably
out.
digging in the ground. They are trying to figure out how someone could just disappear.
And you stay out all night, like you said, and you don't find any other trace.
Out of curiosity, with that roll, do I see a second set of footprints?
You do not.
Okay.
Like Jesus.
No, you're supposed to see the footprints of Jesus. It's like when you look back behind you, there are 2 foot.
That's
there
what I
are
thought
two
he was looking
footprints in the
for.
sand.
I guess Jesus did not walk with Max that night.
Okay.
Well, I think like first thing in the morning, I hopefully come to a consensus that our friend Max was maybe stolen by the Earth, and that I don't know that we're gonna get any answers until we just go and fucking talk to this schmuck. I'm sure
Listen,
he wants
yeah, I
to
think-
monologue at us.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure if Max doesn't come back and Hunter comes back all distressed with just the feather, there's really only one suspect that we have right now.
Mhm.
He doesn't really try to hide it. What's better than using one friend against you when you can use 2?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
So, you're going to speak to the Dagda? You find
Let's go get him.
You find him in much the same way you found him the day before, seated on that throne, deep within the heart of the Standing Stone.
Morning, asshole.
Where's the other bag? I got one bag with one friend. I'm missing another friend.
Yeah,
Odds
where-
are there's a bag somewhere with my friend in it.
What did you do with Max?
Your friends will be remaining here.
Why? I thought you said we all have destinies or whatever.
And I spoke the truth,
Your
as
truth,
we
yes.
always do.
Your truth, yes. Go on.
You look confused.
You're not
Hi.
explaining anything.
What is there to explain? I will be keeping your friend Max Miller here, close.
Why?
Incentive.
Hostage. Hunter, he means hostage because he's a dick.
I know what he means. What, so I'll be at your side when the war starts?
No, that is inevitable. But what if I were to offer you a choice?
A real
friends.
choice.
Your friend that is dead? Or your friend that is missing? Would you choose Max Miller if it meant Kira would never come back to life?
No.
Seems like you're violating your first deal with the second deal. You can't be honest. You asked us to come back in the morning for Kira. And then in the middle of the night, you acted like a dick and grabbed Max too. So now you're trying to further manipulate Hunter.
Well, I hate to be pedantic, but
No,
that's
you
not a
don't.
lie.
No, you don't hate to be pedantic. You live to be pedantic. And it is not a lie, but it is bending of the truth. The fact of the matter is, we agreed to come back in the morning for Kira. And Max agreed to come back in the morning for Kira. And in the middle of the night, you did something to him. And now you're trying to use that against Hunter and the rest of us. So you're the one who can't keep to your deals and can't keep to your word. We came back to hear what you had to say. And all you're saying is bullshit.
No, what we're doing, Kelly, is we're not playing the game right. Like you said. He might not be able to lie, but he can certainly find ways to skirt the truth. We're leaving way too many openings.
So, will I be returning Max to you? Or will I be returning Kira to life?
Kira. If Max is somewhere, we can get him. If Kira's a pile of leaves, then he's a pile of leaves, you know?
Max agreed to come back today for Kira. Just because you're cheating doesn't change the fact that we agreed to come back for Kira.
Max is here. Max is nearby.
Of Max's own volition or of yours?
I don't believe that was part of the deal.
There wasn't a deal that involved Max going missing and us choosing for Max. That wasn't the original deal. The terms of the deal would be where we came back in the morning for Kira.
So then you have chosen.
We have chosen. What do you need from me in order to turn this pile of leaves into my friend?
Absolutely nothing. And he will kind of wave one hand lazily, and the leaves swirl out of that plastic bag and reconstitute into that roughly Kira-shaped figure, and then return to life. Kira standing there.
Just kind of touching his face.
Don't look so sad. This is cause for celebration. A miracle has taken place. Your friend is alive again.
Well, we're still net minus one friend overall, I'd say. So I appreciate you taking and then giving back a friend to and from. Now you have taken a friend. So, hello! Now you have
Whoa.
taken a friend, and we'd like to get that friend back again. So, what is it we need to do to get that deal confirmed? Do you need to take me and then give us back Max, and then kind of figure out like a checkers game to get me back?
We all understand you're all terribly noble. You'd happily just trade places back and forth for all time until the world ended. But that's not an option. Max will be staying here with me.
Why isn't that an option? You keep talking about freedom, and you keep taking choices away from us. That's not freedom. That's manipulation. That's coercion. That's finding leverage over us.
You always have a choice.
The only choice you're offering is to leave without Max and not do what you want, or leave without Max and do what you want. That doesn't sound like a choice that any of us would choose. That
But
sounds
it
like
is
things. No,
a choice.
it's not.
But
No.
it is
But
a choice.
it's not freedom when you keep changing the parameters.
Because you're a dick. I
So,
really want you to get that, internalize that. You need to do that because that's the only thing you're going to be known for. You're no longer the father, you're the dick.
fair or unfair, what will you do about it?
Absolutely nothing, because you are the only person who knows where Max is.
Just so.
I doubt that. I'm sure we could figure that out on our own. I am carrying around. So.
What's next, Dad? How do we get
That's
him
not
back?
his name. It's Dick.
How do we
What?
get him back, Dad?
It's Dick.
I'll do whatever it takes, Daddy-o.
Wayne, call him by his name. He's
Come on,
a dick.
Daddy. What's the next move there, Daddy? You don't want him. You don't want him. I know you don't want to keep him.
Honestly, he's
Julia,
gonna start rotting your
Do
floorboards.
something with him, you know?
Julia,
It's
I need you
boring.
to roll insight.
Okie dokie.
You could see the power word kill on his lips.
Do
Getting
it.
formed more and more every time you call him a dick.
I don't care. This is exactly the same way I talked to Mirrodin. This is the same way I've talked to every male authoritative figure who's come into my orbit. I will continue to speak to men this way.
He doesn't technically have a gender.
If we have to get Max anyway, we might as well sacrifice everybody and do it all at once.
Good
That's a good
insight,
point.
right?
Yes.
17.
Okay. When you like tap your head and say, I have this, his eyes almost like glaze over in a weird way. Like he is looking, scanning, and you see his eyes, his gaze like turns to you, and then it almost like glazes over for a second and then continues on for like a brief second. Not sure what that means, but you see that play across his face. So I am sending you out of the Heartwood, north, far north, farther north than I think you've ever been. One second. You will seek out the mountain, Anyarain, and there, upon its highest summits, you will find the Coraid Domain. As it has stood since time immemorial, as it has stood since we were banished from this world. And that you will bring to me.
Why can't you get it yourself? Being all powerful and all.
Since you know.
Just lazy.
Because I happen to be busy. And you
Imposing your
have
will
nothing
upon
but
me.
time on your hands.
Do we? Because I seem to recall you mentioning that in comparison to your lifetime of eternity, mine was just a speck on the radar. So funny that we seem to have the time for this, but you don't.
That being the case, I wouldn't dawdle.
It's not an answer as to why you can't do it.
There's nothing stopping me from
Tell
doing
the truth.
it. I could retrieve it myself, but I will
But-
not. You
But
will retrieve it for me. And bring it back here. In the meantime, Max Miller will remain here. With me.
Will you promise not to hurt him?
As long as you do as you're told, no harm will come to him.
Okay, so we go out, Dad. We go out. We get this thingy. We bring it back to you, and you will return our Max exactly as you took him, with all of his stuff. And he's gonna remember everything, and it'll be just like he was never gone. I feel like you're kind of like a genie lamp a little bit.
no, Wayne, he's a dick. We've been over this.
You're like a
He's
you're
a
like
dick
a
who lies and changes the rules because he's a coward and a dick.
you're like a hot dog inside of a genie lamp. That like every time I try and pour out water, there's a hot dog trying to get out. I just want to know if we do this thing, you'll give us back our Max, and you're not going to take another one of us before you give us back the first one. So we got to go on another trip to go get somebody else to get another. You know what I mean? Are you going to fuck me again?
As long as you do as you're told and you bring me the Kamain Doman.
Question about that. How is that spelled? And is he talking about the world cauldron?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
It is spelled COMHAIN DOMHAIN. Sorry, COIRANDOMHAIN.
Can you just put that in the Discord chat, please?
It's in the setting info,
Oh.
technically.
I have that
Yeah.
then. I have that back on.
Yeah. As long as you do that and bring it back to me, you'll have him back.
As he was.
Now that is up to him.
These answers.
If you don't say it, we're not going. And we will stand here and we will do this until eternity ends and we all turn to dust. So either you make the fucking deal or you go get it yourself. You'll give him back as he was.
I don't think that you're in any position to bargain.
I am in the position to stand here until I die, and you have to get off your ass and do it yourself, or you can make the agreement.
I'm not willing to do that Kelly.
That's fine, Hunter. You can do what you're willing to do.
Such division. I
That's
hope
the
you can
human
make it in
nature.
time.
That's the human nature. We're allowed to do that. That's part of free will and freedom, is that we don't have to be unified and agree on everything. Hunter
I
may
told you
go.
my half of the bargain. Stand here as long as you wish. I will watch you grow old.
Does the bargain require that we all go, or does it just require that we bring the item back to you?
If one of you wishes to stay here and stare at me, so be it. But I certainly hope the rest of you don't come across any misfortune that could have been prevented by being united. That would be tragic.
You having to do something for yourself instead of manipulating others would also be tragic.
Wayne, Kira,
I'm ready to fucking go, you know? Max isn't gonna, he's gonna do whatever the fuck he wants anyway. So we either like don't do what he wants and we don't get Max back, or maybe we do what he wants and get Max back, but not a goddamn thing is gonna be done by not doing what he wants. You know what I mean?
I have no problem going. I want the commitment that he will honor his word if we honor ours, because so far he hasn't done it this whole time.
I have given you my word. You bring it back to me, I will return
You also
Max
gave us
Miller
your
to
word
you.
that if we came back to talk to you in the morning as a you said to 4 people, if we came back in the morning to hear what you wanted to do, you would give Kira back. And then you took one of those 4 people. That's not keeping your word.
But he is here.
You don't have any way to prove that to us. You're just saying that.
Yes.
And again, I reiterate my previous point. I have no reason to trust your word.
Very well.
All right, well, should we pack lunches for 3 or for 4? Wayne is finishing up a peanut butter and marshmallow fluff sandwich. Just ready to clean off the knife.
Crusts
Closing
on or
everything
off?
down. Crusts are on unless Hunter and Kira prefer not. You know, everything is being sealed up into a lunchbox. Wayne's putting it into a backpack, turning to walk out the door.
I will say, for your own benefit and for your friend's benefit, it's a terrifying thing being left alone with only one's thoughts for too long a time. Who knows what he's experiencing? What thoughts might cross his mind? The longer this takes, the more profound the effect it might have on him.
It's a good thing he doesn't have too many thoughts.
it's not true, Wayne.
He's not prone to hearing voices, is he?
You actually don't know that. He never admitted shit to us.
He did.
He did.
I did. It was a while ago.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that I still hear them. But it's been a while.
I think before Hunter leaves, they do start just kind of digging in the earth around them, anywhere that they can, like slamming their fist against the stone, because he said Max is close. And they are looking for any sign of that.
Well, you're not going to find him that way. Oh, I see. Well, I'm not cruel.
Yes, you are.
And as you dig in the earth, a hand erupts out of it, grasping your own. You recognize the arm of Max Miller because it is unmistakable. And you're sort of able to haul him like half out, like torso up. One arm still kind of trapped, pinned by the earth, but the other one holding on to you. Max, I mean, you're panicked. You don't have to let that show, of course, but it hasn't been a good 12 hours for you.
There's a gasp, and I think just like when you open your eyes from a bad dream and you're just looking everywhere and nothing seems to make sense. And I think eventually locks eyes with Hunter and just says, "Is this real?"
Oh, you're here. You're alive. You're going to be okay, Max, and we're going to get you back, okay?
Don't leave. Don't leave me.
I don't have a choice.
I don't think he responds.
I think
Max,
that is
I don't have a choice.
as you say that, the earth sucks Max Miller back down into itself. Well, I've heard worse goodbyes, but I've heard better too.
It's not a goodbye because we're coming back for him.
I am so very glad to hear it.
Fuck you.
Let Hunter say fuck.
Hunter's allowed to say fuck. We encourage Hunter to say
Let
fuck in this
Hunter
house.
commit regicide
Let's
Listen,
go.
or patricide, whatever this
yeah,
would be.
good.
listen, both is good.
Listen, you think giving us the world cauldron after we know what Wilt did with it is going to be a good idea?
Mm. That sounds like an Arcana check to make in the future, but for now, are you leaving?
Is Hunter crying?
Yes.
It feels like not a question you have to ask.
That
cry
seems
maker's
like an
back, baby.
unnecessary and mean question to ask.
If Hunter is crying, Kelly will.
Hunter looks down at their watch and it just says cry for every number.
Go ahead and roll a one-sided die for me.
I think Kelly will like look at that, look back at the Dagda and say, "Again with the coward's way out. Enjoy the seat while you have it." you won't get to keep it. We'll be back with your little toy. And then we will be your problem.
Well, of course you're coming back. The story is only just beginning.
Oh, I have to get the last word because I'm a man. Come on, Hunter.
Kira's gonna stay behind for just a moment. He's been sort of in a daze because he was a pile of leaves not too long ago. But I do think he watches them and then looks to the Dagda. I want to thank you. You have given me an experience that I could not have had most otherwise. I have experienced death, and now I'm back from it. I don't fear it. So, thank you for that.
Kira, you make an insight check too.
I would love to do that.
Rock that man.
It's a 27, my guy.
Rock his shit.
Hell yeah.
Look deep into his psyche and pull out the little thread that is his inner child.
When you say, I have experienced death, there is an unmistakable, interest or fascination on his face. He's so curious. You can tell that. And he doesn't act on it. He suppresses it as quickly as he can, but not so fast that you don't catch it. I think maybe because a little bit you kind of expected this. But yeah, he does. He shows his hand a little bit. He shows his, he drops the mask for a second. And he says, well, consider that boon free of charge.
The death was the cost. So, I already considered owing you nothing. And the many years that my people, my kin, were left to madness, you've only barely begun to make up. So, we're not even. Not by a long shot.
Yeah. He regards you impassively as you bow exaggeratedly and take your leave. And then, yeah, it's the four of you outside. It's not big enough for you to carry. We've been over this. It's not small enough for you to carry.
I hold it like this with just underneath the front two legs.
It just goes ragdoll.
Yes. I just pick it up, hold it, but it's at eye level with everyone, so it can be included in the conversation.
No, for sure. Yeah, it goes full Juniper. Yeah, and so you don't know much about the Heartwood, except for Hunter. The rest of you are new to this place. and its strange internal workings, its strange rules. But you know which way north is. You start heading in that direction. The four of you, plus Avalon, but without Max Miller. And that, I think, is where we're going to end this episode of Class Reunion.
God damn it.
Bye, Max.
It's good. It was good.
Bye,
Bye,
guys.
Max.
See you later, guys. Have fun.
Yeah, this was so fun. This was such a blast.
That's a good one. That's a good
Yeah.
Nothing bad happened tonight. Like,
was
there
a
were
good
just so
one.
many
I
laughs.
don't know if I would say that.
And
But
nobody
okay.
died.
Nobody died.
We
Good
died.
to
Nobody
know
died
for the future.
permanently.
Y'all are fine with sessions like this. That's
If
very
anybody
good for me
needs
to
like
know.
a companion, Churro's here for you. Zero this time. Yeah.
What a little man face.
Yay.
That is a man.
Little
That's a
man.
human
Grown
man, dude.
ass
That's
man.
a
Big ass
grown
man that lives
Does he
here.
pay rent?
That's a
This
grown
motherfucker doesn't pay no
man.
rent. I'll tell you
He
what.
should.
Ugh.
He
All
looks
does
like
is eats and
he
shits.
looks like he's dodging the IRS.
He does kind of
He
look like he's
literally
dodging the
does.
It's
IRS.
actually
He looked like I said, I got you by the end of the month. I got you
That's
by the end
That's
of
a
the month.
grown man that
Saying
got
that
turned
for
into a cat to
months.
avoid tax fraud.
hmm
It's all right.
Which is essentially why Salem was living in Sabrina's house and Sabrina
was-
the Teenage Witch.
Also kind of sounds like a I think you should leave sketch. Just like Tim Robbins in a cat suit. Like
Yeah.
meow.
Absolutely.
Wow. All right, cool. Well, yeah, thanks for joining us for another exciting episode of Class Reunion.
God damn it.
On future episodes, and get this out of the way right now, on future episodes, Max Miller will not be present with the group, at least for a little while, until we get past some scheduling stuff that we got going on at the moment. But in the meantime, Class Reunion will be continuing on its normal every other Tuesday schedule, and on some to be determined days, you might be able to see Max Miller and myself doing some one-on-one stuff
Whoa.
about what Max is doing while separated from the
You
gang.
dirty, dirty
Just
dog.
fucking eating dirt.
I hate that
Eating
so
mud
much.
pie.
Like, I'm
Open
so
dirt,
glad
dude.
for Raph. I personally am so glad for Raph,
I
but I
mean,
hate it.
He warned you. He warned you that you shouldn't take too long because who knows what Max is dealing with while you're gone.
Learning how to eat fried worms.
He's not just in
Learning.
stasis.
I'm learning how to process like minerals and vitamins out of dirt, man.
Yeah, maybe.
Gotta
I'm
become-
sure.
I'm gonna become Shai Hulud.
Trying to
What if
figure out
he-
if Hunter would love Max if he was a worm.
Yeah.
I feel like we know the answer to that.
I don't
We
know.
do. The answer is yes.
You can
I
speak
don't
with
know.
animals.
The buffest worm you've ever seen.
Just a jack worm.
It's like 1 inch longer
Yeah.
than the average.
Tremors,
worm.
Yeah,
tremors, but it's Max.
And it's
Do
got
you
a
remember
fucking
how
beak.
like sometimes when you were a kid and you were like digging and you would find worms, there were like bigger, redder ones, and people would be like, "Oh, that's a blood worm," and you were like, "What the fuck does that mean?" And it turns out that those aren't real things, but like, sure thought they were. They seemed like it.
Sure
sounds a lot
thought
better
they
than-
were.
What is
Sure
this?
thought
That's
they
a
were.
big red worm.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude, you got
I
that
guess,
one hit on the nose.
Dog.
Nailed
I thought
it.
it drank
Absolutely
people's
nailed it.
blood like a dirt leech.
Oh, that's an
That's-
awesome
that's-
name.
That's not what we
Dirt
thought those
Leech,
did.
great band name.
Dirt leech, grape in it. What did you think they did?
Oh, at the daycare, those were the ones that were ready to split, because if you cut up a worm they don't
think
die.
they're
They just
ever
become two
ready.
worms.
I don't think they're ready to split ever. I
No,
think
they're
that's
not.
just a thing.
They're not fucking ready to split. That's a terrible
Yeah.
thing that we did as children. But that's the
Yeah.
thing. You guys were out there like, oh, these worms are gonna bite us, and we were like, oh, these worms are ready to become two worms.
Yeah. Those are the marinara
Holy
ones.
shit. That's
Um,
genius. What do? You take one worm, cut it in half. You just doubled your worm
It
amount.
was a
doubled your
daycare.
assets.
Hell yeah,
It
dude.
was.
Stonks investments.
Stop.
I'm not gonna say the name of my daycare out loud on stream because that would be bad.
Yeah,
But I
the red
can
ones
say
are
it off
marinara
stream.
worms.
Mhm.
That's fair.
Mm.
That's
But
fair.
it was. But Steph, if this makes any more sense, the daycare was in Bear.
The daycare was in a bear?
Of course.
The daycare was in Bear,
Okay.
Delaware.
No,
Bear,
it was
Delaware.
led by a
Not
bear.
a real place, but
Gotcha.
okay.
There's a lead bear.
There's
Gotcha.
not a Bear, Delaware. I refuse to believe
There is a
that's
Bear,
thing.
Delaware, but that is not where the bear that came from Pennsylvania went. The bear that came from Pennsylvania went to Appoquinimink.
Dr. Seuss ass town.
Yeah, right.
You've never been
cool.
You ever been to Appoquinimink?
No, it's not really either.
I've
Hey,
a
we've
quid
been
of
live from the apocalypse. This has been Class Reunion. We're going to go around and do some
True.
outros and talk about what we got going on and where you can find us and all that good stuff. Starting with JD. What time is it? JD, you mind checking that watch?
It's cryo clock, Will, and you know this.
It's cryo clock.
It's always cryo clock when
That's
it
my
is
secret
Hunter.
cap.
I'm always crying. Yep. I have been Hunter. I have been the cry maker. I will probably not cry on stream for the next couple that I'm in. Class Reunion not included. I meant the ones to come before that. What else do I have going on? Just a handful of things. I will be with Lost Caravan tomorrow for our second episode of Cottages and Cerberus, which is a cozy monster hunting game, and I am just playing a sad, cozy goth boy with pyrokinetic powers, and it's fine. Don't worry about it. You can also find me back here on Thursday for Never Ember's Enigma. I believe the show that Riv has been working on will be going into opening night, and I am so sure nothing bad is going to happen, including the two people that I'm sort of romancing meeting each other. It's going to be fine. It's become a bit of a dating sim. My life is complicated. I just wanted to be gay and do crime, but somehow it's become a little more be gay. So we'll see. And I think that is actually all I have for almost a solid week. So things will be pretty chill. But you can also find me in things like Academy H. And I will be back here for more Class Reunion and more crying.
Oh, all right. Raph. Now that
What's
you're
good?
dead,
You
what do
will
you have
not-
going on?
Now that I'm dead, I'm not going to be here for class reunion. No, next up on my docket is the end of an era, final chapter of the mom of the group and dad of the group of Redacted.
Incorrect.
Everyone else they're all becoming orphans because I think we're gonna lose the mom and dad of the group. Me, in Redacted, run by JD, psychological horror game, where we're just a group of people full of ghosts. We're full of ghosts, and my ghost is quite a guy, quite a doctor. Everything's cool. Everyone's in their own liminal dreamscape where we'll see what happens. I don't know. What else? This Ward H. Next Saturday. Yeah.
27th.
Next Saturday. Thank you. The 27th. Which is like a alternate universe Academy H. If you listen to that, if you don't, what are you doing? You fool. And Ward H is like a dark spinoff. And it's just going down. What else? I think that's it for now.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Sounds about right.
That sounds about right. All right, Julia.
Hi. I'm Julia Hexbot on all social media platforms. I've been Kelly Violet today, who was determined to stand on business. I will be back on Thursday as well for Nevermember's Enigma, where I will be Lavinia Hale. I'm just trying to close some cold cases and, do my best with my roommates. We're all having a weird time with each other.
Sounds like those cases are hot. Actually,
she's trying. She's real sick of people just closing things. After 5 days, that's not long enough. That's unethical. And then we don't have Academy H this upcoming weekend because I thought we weren't doing it because Magfest. So no Academy H. There is a new episode of Academy H though that you should definitely listen to because it's full of emotions and also one of the best jokes that I think Danny has ever said.
I lost it. Yeah, if you want to hear Julia hyperventilate, you should listen to the most recent Academy Age episode.
I sure did.
You sure did.
And that's it. I'm only in those 3 things right now. So
that's fair. That's fair. Corey.
Hey, it's me, Poogie. You know me as Poogie. I play Poogie tonight. This is Juniper. She's cute. She's like, hey, you should donate to Doctors Without Borders. Woo! If she had money, she would donate, but she's a fucking cat. She don't even pay her rent. Catch me on Facebook Live tonight, 6:59 a.m. I'll be on Facebook Live, Instagram Live. Catch me on TikTok Live. I used to be on Twitter Live, but now it's X. So I think it's like X Videos Live or something like that. Other than that, I got big news. Just keep your ears to the ground, eyes to the sky. Smell the smoke in the air. Smells like fresh hot dog on a barbecue. Back to you, Will.
Yeah, Corey mostly post videos on X, so go to xvideos.com.
Yep.
And then you can find all of Corey's lives.
I'm sure that'll get you something. Look up Pookie.
Stop! Oh, she's eating my papers. Oh wait, I forgot something. Oh shit, she's eating it. Put the baby. Oh shit, it won't show. Put the baby in a basket, floating on down the river. She's chewing it up. She's chewing up my paper.
It's just Juniper's face. It just gets eaten by the green screen.
All right, back to you, Will.
Thank you so much. Hi. Hello, I'm Will. I ran this game. I'm not sorry. I will do it again. What do we have going on? We're not doing we're not doing Cryptic Community College tomorrow night because we're preparing for MagFest. Speaking of which, if you were going to be at MagFest this weekend in National Harbor, Washington, D.C., we're doing a panel at 2:30 on Friday. It's called Schrodinger's Crit, how to break the rules, basically, or when to break the rules, something like that. We're going to be talking about breaking the rules. I'm going to be talking about why you don't need rules, mostly. Yeah, that's a good time. Check it out if you're there. I might also run a Masks game on Saturday. I don't know, just like a pickup game if you want to like stop by and do that. Yeah, a new episode of Academy H, check that out. And Horizons and Halcyons Ward H, the final chapter of that is going to be coming out on the 27th. We're going to be recording on the 27th. Then it's going to be edited and put out into the world. A couple new ideas are in the works as well. A couple new games coming down the pike. Might be a little sci-fi thing in the mix. And then also, at some point in the future, the next Horizons and Halcyon story has begun to take form. So check out, wait for more information about that, probably like February or March, but that's a little ways off. Anyway, that's it for me, which means Q. What you got?
Hello, I'm Q. I'll be out on the internet at midnight_Inc. That's midnight_INQ. Q is my name. I'm sure you get it. I was playing Kira, who made whole ass decisions. He also was standing on business, 10 toes in that shit, and we appreciate. I have things, a lot of things are in production. One of those things being Body and Soul, which is going to be a Fate game. It's going to be all black cast, hosted on Chaotic Wholesome. They are gods living and evolving, and or maybe not. We'll see how it goes in the America. So I'm very excited about that. It's my first time running on stream, so I am mad nervous but very excited. You can also find me. I'll be here for Redacted. I didn't die for good, so I'll be back here for class reunion when that's back. And like I said, I've got a lot of other projects that I'm working on. So just keep your eyes peeled.
Right. And with all of that, I think we've pretty much come to an end here tonight. So we're going to hop over, disappear in just a second, raid High Shelf Collective, who are playing Werewolf, or maybe 5e. It's hard to tell. No, Werewolf the Apocalypse. That's what it is. Yeah, say hi, be friendly, tell them, you came from us, I guess. But other than that, I haven't done this in a while, actually. There are socials in the chat. Oh, cool, I just posted them. And also join the Discord community if you're so inclined. It's a great place, full of great people. The class reunion discussion chat is currently popping off because JD said he wished Max was dead. So, JD specifically, not Hunter, wishes Max was dead. So,
correct.
guess what?
Yes, no,
Yeah.
this is the 100% JD.
Wow, fucked up. But with all that being said,
Tough, dude. I thought we were
very fucked
friends,
up.
dude.
Say goodnight, everybody.
Good night,
Good night,
everybody.
everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.